So just because you don't have the gift does not mean you don't have access. Hear me, okay? So 1 Corinthians 12. Apostle Paul is speaking to the church of Corinth. So he lists off gifts of the Spirit and saying that these are gifts that are given out to one and to another. And he lists off the gifts of the Spirit, and he's saying they come from the same Spirit, which is the Holy Spirit. Okay. Now, sometimes we hear this and we think, well, I don't have the gift of this, I don't have the gift of that, as though we do not have access to it. That is a lie. One of the spiritual gifts is wisdom. So just because you don't have the gift of wisdom does not mean you cannot operate with wisdom. Hear me, right? To another, a message of knowledge. Just because you don't have the gift of knowledge does not mean you cannot operate in knowledge. Come on, hear me. And another, faith. Just because you do not have the gift of faith does not mean you do not have faith. By the same Spirit, to another, gift of healing. Just because you do not have the gift of healing does not mean that God cannot use you to heal. The distinguishing between spirits. We should all be able to distinguish between the Holy Spirit and another spirit. Just because you don't have the gift of discerning spirits does not mean you cannot discern it. We need to stop limiting God. We're supposed to house the Holy Spirit. We have the Holy Spirit. So that means we can operate in the Holy Spirit. When we have the Holy Spirit in us, that means we could walk in the Holy Spirit. So if we're walking in the Holy Spirit, is the Holy Spirit going to say, oh, hold on, I'm not going to give him or her this information because they don't have the gift of knowledge. I'm going to give them this knowledge, this word of knowledge. No, it does not work like that. And then it goes on to interpreting dreams. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Okay. Listen, if you are a dreamer and you have dreams, but you do not believe, I'm going to say you do not believe, because some of y'all actually have the gift and you don't know how to tap into it. But listen, if you do not believe you have the gift of interpretation, that does not mean you cannot interpret your dream. If God gave you the dream, why wouldn't he give you the ability to interpret your dream? The problem is when we receive dreams and we don't understand them with our carnal mind, right? With our obvious mind, we do not understand. And we do not bring it before the Lord for insight, for knowledge, for wisdom into the dream. We are confused. But God gives us interpretation. If he allowed you to have a dream, he's also giving you the ability to access the interpretation of the dream. Yes, absolutely. If anyone tells you otherwise, that's a lie. Take it before the Father. If he gives you a dream, take it before the Father, because he will also give you understanding. Now, sometimes we might get some information from the dream, but there might be something missing. And usually you'll have this kind of like unsettling feeling in your stomach where you feel like, I know I'm not getting all of it, and I'm not getting all of it. And then sometimes God will lead you to someone that might have more insight into the dream for you. And they might be an interpreter of dreams, or they just might go before the Lord and the Lord just gives them the information and they just heard it. Because sometimes we're not listening good enough, especially when we're trying to figure it out ourselves. Sometimes we get a little cloudy and we can't really comprehend the dream the way it's supposed to be. And do not go to Google. Google is not a dream interpreter. You hear what I'm saying? If you start doing that, you're also doing, my God, let me talk about this. So, okay. So if you start going to Google for your dream interpretation that the Lord has given you, you will enter into a dangerous territory. Because the Bible talks about doctrines of demons, right? A lot of times when we go on here, if we're going on here for, look, I'm talking about ChatGPT. Look, oh my God, don't even get started. I'm talking about ChatGPT too. Yes, if you had a dream from the Lord, don't take it to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT. What? Have you lost your mind? No. You take it before the Lord and you wait. Do not take it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the Lord. Okay? Stop taking shortcuts, because bringing stuff to ChatGPT is going to leave you handicapped. And if you're bringing spiritual things to ChatGPT, you will be led astray and you will be handicapped spiritually. Why would you want that? We're supposed to be getting sharpened in this season. Do not, no, that's not what we're doing. Let me not get off track. Just because you do not have a gift does not mean you cannot operate in it. So take that limitation off of God. I understand that you are just a person, but God is God. And if he wants to use you, he will use you. You don't have to have a gift for him to use you with the gift, because you house the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit has all the gifts. Okay?